Okay, so we've received apologies from Nathan and Amanda, so we'll just start with that one. So to receive apologies, Harrison's given to the meeting, so Amanda, Nathan's done well and Amanda's become a grandmother, yeah. I was going to say Amanda's had a baby, but that's not the case at all. Yeah. So do we consider approval for all those? All in favour? Yeah. Thank you very much. Okay, and we'll start with the public section of these things. So, any questions?
I see at long last Quarry Hall's community centre was handed over. When it was originally proposed, Old Hall's woodland was supposed to come across at the same time as they handed over the community centre. Has it been handed over to you, or have you accepted? If not, why not?
So there's different phases of how the community centre and the various bits of land and the things that the parish council will be responsible for that are being handed over. So that is at a later date, is the woodland section. So at the moment it's the community centre and the immediate field at the back that's being handed over to us. So even the slope that goes up to the community centre, that's not our responsibility yet either.
But so, originally stated that it was going to come over at the same time.
Well, in the agreement with that we had to do, because of the various problems that have been discovered, such as like the flow of how the water goes and things like that, there's been sort of like a phased agreement so it will all come to us eventually, but we want to make sure we get things right, and obviously we need to work out how. Because at the minute, some of the houses on Strata are paying a different company as well to like look after some of the different, they pay like extra amounts for it. So there's going to be discussions needed by whether it's this council or the future council as to how all that will feature within the. Because at the minute,
I don't understand what's that got to do with them handing it over. It's not what they're paying. They're supposed to give you that land. Also, is there a time limit on it? If you don't accept it, can Strata walk away with it and say we're keeping it?
It's an agreed legal position that we've got, so it's been handed over in phases. So that's
legally set at this moment.
That's my understanding. Yeah, if
yeah. So you are correct that originally it was supposed to be handed over many years ago. Because of the delays on the land and the due diligence that we needed to do, that's when it was restructured the way that it was. So that's why we took the building and the backland. The wooded area will come with the phase 2, which is the front area. And there's my understanding is it's a long stop gap, so it is a legal term, which means we have a set time to have it handed over to us. But I can't go into any more detail than that right now because it's under the solicitor's review.
Can I just say, the land that the people are paying for, it's run by Meadfleet. It's totally different from Old Halls. It's another section behind Old Halls. It's run by Meadfleet, and the houses that were first built actually pay for maintenance, so that's called Meadfleet.
I am aware of that, Chair. It was overview you were giving, wasn't it?
It was just an overview.
Yeah.
At some point in the future, how soon that will be, this parish council will need to decide what happens with that.
Yeah.
Do they continue to pay for it separately, like they do at Westwind? There's a whole big portion of land which they pay for separately, which was way before my time on any parish council. So there's a whole other set of issues to come up in the future, but that's not on our agenda at the moment. So it was just a general overview of something in the future, that's all. Any?
No, that's it.
Not many people to ask for questions. Okay. We'll close the public session and we'll go to the rest of the meeting. So declarations of interest and dispensations. Are there any declarations of interest? Disclosable peculiar interest and items on the agenda? No. If anything does come up, just mention it and we can deal with it at the time as well, just in case. Nothing to receive and consider, nothing to grant. To receive available reports from following, so district councillors. As you've probably been aware from social media and so on, one of the big things that's come up with the district council is the huge redevelopment of Wakefield city centre. So people may wish to comment on that because how much people go into and out of Wakefield is, down to each individual, but people may wish to comment on it, and it is, part of our district, and so we may wish to comment on it. In terms of things for Ackworth, my understanding is there's been an announcement with the work that Jessica's done in terms of the flooding defences down in Low Ackworth. And so they've done lots of investigatory work into that, and we'll be starting, I believe it's like February, March, into looking at how all that drains off to relieve the flooding issues that have been going on down there. Sean?
As a district council, can I just ask you why the flooding report was withheld from public?
I don't know personally. I've not really dealt with that flooding issue, so I've not seen that report myself. So that would be a question. I'd possibly say to go direct to Jessica.
I tried to obtain information, but we will not get there.
I can ask about that for you.
Yeah, it'd be great if you would, please.
And the only other thing I can say is, obviously it's coming up the local elections, so it's going to be all out this year as well, so that's the only other thing. There might be a lot of roadworks coming up soon as well, probably because that tends to happen around this time. So.
Just one more thing, Ackworth, they said once the drainage problem was resolved, they will resurface that road.
At High Ackworth?
Yeah, in front of Brown Cow. It's really bad.
Alright, I can certainly look into that.
Chair, do you remember to that?
Yeah.
There was an update due on the last Environment, Road Safety and Planning Committee, but it wasn't quorate. So when we have the meeting at the end of the month, I do have an update on that.
Cheers, thank you.
So yeah, that's
all good.
all it is from me. 151.2, so representatives on outside bodies. Any reports to come in? Big no meetings?
No, what's up?
Okay, no worries. 152, to consider for approval the minutes of the Parish Council meeting held on the 12th of January 26 as a true quick record. Can we get proposed and seconded for that one, please? I'll propose. Me and Sarah propose and seconded. Any comments before we move forward? Votes in favour of accepting those minutes? Full house. Thank you very much. One 5 to receive applications for burial rights, and they're just in the supplementary. So we've just got 2 by the looks of it. So yeah, just note them, I believe. Receive, I'm sorry, yeah. No, receive. Okay, that's going to 5.4. Financial matters. To receive and consider for approval the accounts, including bank statements to the end of January 26.
I don't have any financial queries, Chair. In your packs, the CCLA statement was to the end of December because that's all we had at the time. This is the end of January, but I only printed 1 copy off, so if you want to look at it, it's there, just to show you the updated version of each account. I'll obviously add it to next month's pack because it's not coming time.
I'll just give people a chance as well. To look at that.
In December, what was in your pack, so there's not much difference between the 2 figures.
Okay, are there any questions on
Thank you.
that? No? Can I get a proposal and second then, please, for first part? Lynn proposing? Andy seconded, thank you. Votes in favour of accepting those payments? Thank you very much, full house. 154.2, to receive and consider for approval payments to be made and petty cash account 9 February 26.
So the petty cash is already paid, and then the payments are here. I do have 12 copies of this one, I'm not got a show on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any comments or questions?
Just a quick thought, not specifically in relation to that. Music licence for PRS for here, like we need to replicate that for Horace.
Yeah.
So it's got to be amended, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just interested in the gap payment for the, I thought we had gap insurance.
We did have it on the van and that worked. Just point out where you're reading because I can...
Payments made, third one down, Arnold.
Yes, so what happened was instead of paying the company direct, they decided to pay us and then we had to pay
So just the
company.
money moved in between.
Yeah. I just wanted to check that's what I was looking at.
Okay, can I get a proposer and seconder, please? Ian proposing, seconding, Sarah seconding. Votes in favour of accepting those payments? Full house, thank you. 154.3, to receive and consider for approval payment to be made relating to the initial setup of Ackworth Parish Community Centre
Yes.
to bring on.
So this is exactly the same process that you've just followed, but we want to keep it separate in the office so it's clear in terms of costing. So what we've been doing since it's been handed over is anything where we've got an existing contract, from a compliance point of view, we've been setting up those processes, for example, insurance, washrooms, things like that. So on your top section, that's those, and then on your separate section, those are existing contractors that we already have operating for us, and they are additional either pieces of equipment or bits and pieces that need to happen. So for example, our washroom provider, there's a baby change unit there as a one-off cost that's been added. You've got some bits and pieces in terms of things that have come up of the health and safety inspection report, which will go to the committee because we've not received it yet. But that's just about the shutters to make sure that they're open fully. If there was a fire alarm that went off, for example, or the fire that went off, there is an external light that's been identified by the health and safety inspector around the far side, which strata wouldn't have been. It wouldn't have been that they would have had to have put that in, but actually as a public open space, when you walk around it, you need a light that's put around there. Things like that. So the first ones have already been completed by the office as part of my role. The second are ones that either council can approve this evening or we can move it to a committee to further review if you want to do that.
Any questions or comments? Andy, yeah?
Do we really need to put internet and telephone in there? Well, it's just that, I suppose personally, I just find if I go somewhere and you've generally got good enough mobile reception that it's easier to use the mobile or whatever, rather than the hassle of logging into something else. So I'm just wondering,
Yeah.
I need
So we don't have company phones as staff, so there's no mobile phone that we could hotspot off through the
Right.
parish council.
yeah.
So that's more about the number of
staff.
staff up there who would have
Oh,
to
okay.
work
Yeah.
from there.
Yeah.
You know, potentially not a landline because,
Yeah,
you know, you've got email.
yeah.
So that is one that we could review further.
Right.
Any other comments or questions? Can I get a proposal and a seconder for approving these payments? Lynn proposing, Sean seconding, and votes in favour of them, please. Full house, thank you. So 155, to consider a response to the planning authority on the following planning applications. I'm okay to come to Andy.
Yeah,
As normal for this section. Seems to have planning guru.
just lazy. And the first one we did actually discuss a bit last month. It's 3 trees. If you go to car park and kind of go around the back of the building, they're right at the end of that bit on the left. I think it must be that the garden of the wall, the Rosslyn Grove or whatever, that's kind of on the side. I think their gardens must be lower, and there's a wall that the trees apparently are knocking over the wall. So the resident requested the co-op to take the trees down so that their wall doesn't fall down. So, and there are quite a lot of trees along there. They say it wouldn't make a difference. I was trying to, but it's difficult to have a look and think, I don't know which 3 trees it is, and so I don't know how much difference it might make to the visual appearance, but there's a lot along there, so I don't think it would be too bad. Although somebody might complain later when they start building on the co-op land, but that's, you can't say anything about that now because nothing's happened. Yeah. So I don't know if, I get why somebody's wanting to do it, the co-op are trying to help the neighbour, but does tree policy maybe needs to apply? Don't know. It's an odd one.
Do you want to plant tree policy with him? I think so, yeah.
I always do.
Yeah, I think apply the tree policy to that one.
Yeah, okay.
Any other?
Other ones, Chapel Garth, no issues with that one. Oh no, that's already been approved actually, so we can't do anything on that. That's been approved anyway already, which is remarkably quick. Christ Evelyn, presumably Christopher Lee didn't live there, got a Westview.
Kind of a clue.
Yeah. The only concern I've got for that is that this garage is it's a separate detached garage and it's in the corner of the plot, and it's looking at, I'm trying to figure out how it was looking on Google Maps, and it looks like there's a lot of trees behind it, so there's nothing mentioned on the application, but it looks like they might have to cut something back, but it might just be little bushes, there's no way of telling on that. But otherwise, there's no comments, so I don't think there's an issue.
Have we missed the deadline anyway?
We technically missed the deadline, but I don't know that there's any. I was just concerned looking at it, they might need to cut a lot down, but nobody said anything.
Yeah.
It's not on the application, which they would probably have to cover if they go chopping trees down. So I think that was okay.
Can I ask a question outside?
Yeah.
I haven't looked at
Yes,
this.
no, that's
But
fine.
I'm concerned about things like that, when it's a completely separate building, that it might be trying to get a toe in the door to then build something more substantial. And does the layout of the house and the drive, would that allow that to happen, to maybe make it into a separate dwelling and sell it off, basically?
Possibly, but not easily.
Okay.
Not without, they would certainly have to apply for a lot more planning to do so. So I think, and what they're applying for at the moment, it's kind of, I can't remember, it's a sort of storeroom extension type thing at the back of the garage. So it's not, maybe at some point, but if they did, it would need something else anyway. So
Okay, thank you.
I think that'd be right. The other one, Ash's Balti, I haven't actually seen the application, but I noticed the other day when I drove past that they're already up. And the application's really clear because they've got photos of it. And the only photo they got of the before is from Google Street View.
Yeah.
But they haven't actually put for that one retrospective. Given what some of the neighbours, there aren't any comments about it, I don't think, but given what some of the neighbours said when the bar was first opened about the lights, maybe there should be something to make sure the lights aren't on 24 hours a day.
Yeah. That was my thoughts when I read this.
But I wanted to just add into it that there is another application that's gone through subsequently to alter the frontage, which they've also obviously done, to include an external roller shutter. But they haven't put that one as retrospective. So they're not quite following the rules. and I think maybe we could do that, because actually apparently this convenience store is only open 9 till 5:30. Really convenient.
Not very convenient.
Well, that's what I thought, yeah.
It's convenient stuff.
Yeah. But I would have thought, sign only to be lit up in the open or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure quite how we can put that on, but maybe just as a request.
Yeah.
Have you finished? Sorry.
Yeah.
There was something that I've noticed on this one, and I don't know if it's of relevance if council want to review it further, is Ash's Balti isn't the trading name of the company. And when you look on companies' houses, Ash's Balti went into liquidation quite a long time ago.
Yeah.
So that doesn't, and given the fact that the District Council Jessica Carrington has previously said before that they are notorious for not applying for the right application and retrospectively applying, I don't know if that's something that council might want to be aware of.
I did wonder, if I'm just saying that, I wondered if it was purely because that building is currently known as Ash's Balti, rather than...
Possibly.
Right,
Yeah.
but I don't know, that was my
How we all refer to it as in